You've probably heard this before. The best way to deal with a manipulator is to spot their tactics and use them right back. That advice is wrong, and following it makes you exactly the kind of person they want you to be. Here's what nobody tells you. The manipulator is not free. They are running a script. A rigid, predictable, psychological script they cannot deviate from, because it's not a strategy. It's a compulsion. And the moment you understand that, you stop playing defense. You start playing something else entirely. We tend to imagine manipulators as masterminds, calculating, adaptable, one step ahead. But look closer. The narcissist must seek admiration. Not sometimes. Always. It's not a choice. It's oxygen to them. The guilt tripper needs someone who feels guilt. Without that response, their whole move collapses. The love bomber has to accelerate intimacy because slow, genuine connection doesn't feed whatever they're trying to fill. They're not playing chess. They're pulling a lever and waiting for the same outcome every time. This means something important. Their power over you is not about them. It's about you. Specifically, it's about your responses. The manipulator has handed you the blueprint of their psychology without realizing it. Every tactic they use tells you exactly what they need, and what they need is your participation. Remove the participation. Watch the whole thing dissolve. There's a technique that feels almost uncomfortably simple, but it works. Name what's happening. Out loud, calmly. When someone guilt trips you, it sounds like you want me to feel responsible for this. When someone gaslights you, I notice this conversation always ends with me questioning my own memory. When someone love bombs you, this is a lot of intensity very quickly. I want to slow down. You're not accusing them. You're not attacking. You're just narrating. This does two things simultaneously. First, it destroys the invisibility that manipulation depends on. Manipulation only works when the target doesn't recognize it as manipulation. The moment you name the dynamic, the spell breaks. Second, and this is the part that almost never gets discussed, when you name it calmly, you don't just stop the manipulation. You plant a seed of doubt inside the manipulator about themselves, because now they're exposed. Not to you, to themselves. And manipulators, almost universally, cannot handle that mirror. Watch what happens. They'll escalate, or they'll withdraw. Either way, you've shifted from target to observer. Now here's where it gets interesting. You've probably heard of the gray rock method, making yourself boring, unresponsive, not giving emotional reactions. Most people describe it as a defensive tactic. It isn't. It's offensive. Think about what a manipulator actually feeds on. Drama, emotional spikes, the push and pull of someone who fights back or breaks down. That turbulence is the point. It's what keeps them engaged. When you become a gray wall, not hostile, not compliant, just flat, you're cutting off their oxygen supply. No reaction when they provoke, no visible satisfaction when they praise, no panic when they threaten. Just steady, boring, unreadable neutrality. Warning. This might cause what psychologists call an extinction burst. When the manipulator stops getting the response they're wired for, they often escalate dramatically before they stop. Expect it. Don't flinch. To a manipulator, a person they cannot read is terrifying, because they cannot operate without a model of how you'll respond. You haven't beaten them by fighting. You've made yourself genuinely uninteresting. And that is a form of power they have no answer for. Here's the most unsettling truth in all of this. Manipulators don't actually want what they say they want. The controlling partner doesn't want obedience. They want to know you can't leave. The attention seeker doesn't want your time. They want proof they matter. The one who plays victim constantly doesn't want your help. They want to feel justified. When you give them the surface thing, the compliance, the attention, the rescue, you feed the behavior. But when you address the actual underlying need, directly, calmly, without judgment, I hear that you're afraid I'll leave. I'm not going to keep proving I won't. I see you feel overlooked, but I can't be the only source of that reassurance for you. Here's a real example. Imagine someone close to you who constantly brings up past mistakes, not to resolve them, but to hold them over you. The instinct is to defend yourself. Don't. Instead, it sounds like that moment still bothers you. What would actually help you move past it? You've gone somewhere the script didn't account for. Genuine acknowledgement, without emotional hostage-taking in return. Some people are too far gone for this. But for those who aren't, this is the only thing that actually works long-term. The manipulator operates on a single assumption, that you will respond predictably. Break that assumption, and you break their entire framework, not by becoming colder, not by learning their tactics and using them back, because that just creates a spiral with no winner, but by understanding their psychology well enough that you stop being interesting prey. Name the pattern, build the wall, address the real need underneath. You don't manipulate the manipulator by outmaneuvering them. You do it by making manipulation pointless. If you found that useful, the next video goes even deeper, into the psychology of why we allow manipulation in the first place. That one might be harder to hear. Stay sharp.